Hello everyone, my name is Prakash and this is the demonstration video for SWE645 assignment 3, and today I am presenting the student server application, a full stack containerized application deployed on Kubernetes, a CI/CD pipeline. So my team members are Deya Krishna and Karthik Reddy. So let me walk you through the complete implementation. So this is the project structure, and I'll open this in the VS Code. And here first, let's take a look at the backend app and main.py. And this backend is built with fast API, and it provides RESTful APIs for CRUD operations on survey data. And this is the main.py file. It has proper header comments as required in the assignment. And this is the main API file with all the endpoints. And the next one is the front end source components and survey form.js. And here again, the headers are present. And this component handles the survey form in the front end for the user interaction. And here we have the K8s. And these are the Kubernetes manifests we have deployed for backend, front end, and MySQL, and some of their services. And each deployment creates one pod as required by the assignment. So now let's go to the Jenkins file. So this is the Jenkins file that defines our CI/CD pipelines. And we also have the Docker files for both the backend and front end. This is the Docker file for the backend, and this is the Docker file for the front end. So now let's take a look at the Kubernetes deployment. So now let's quickly run some of the commands. The first one is kubectl get pods. So as you can see here, all the pods are running on the Kubernetes cluster. We have MySQL pod for deployment and front-end pod and backend pod. All are in running status, with one replica each. And we'll run another command for to know the kubectl services. I mean Kubernetes services. The command is kubectl get services. Yeah. So here you can see these are the services. Front end is exposed to the load balancer and on local host of port 80, and backend or MySQL or cluster IP services for the internal communication. And we'll run another command, which is kubectl get deployments. And this command, this command shows that all the three pods are ready and available with 1 out of 1 replicas. I mean, the deployment is actually working or not. And we'll run one more command to show the detailed description of the front end or back end or MySQL deployment. So we'll go with the back end. kubectl describe pod and name of the backend pod, that is backend dash deployment. Deployment. Yeah. kubectl describe pod. Oh, deployment spelling is wrong. So deployment. So here you go. So here you can see the Docker images with environment variables, including database connection and the pod healthy and healthiness of the pod. Now here you can see the Docker image name and image ID. And you can see the Docker image is pulled, created, and then started. And now let's take a look at the Jenkins. This is the Jenkins dashboard with a pipeline of student survey pipeline, the name. And here we have builds with the build numbers. So the latest build is 5. So here you can see the build history, the console output. So the checkout from the GitHub and build and Docker image and build the front end Docker image and build, deploy MySQL or Kubernetes and deploy backend on Kubernetes, and it finally verifies the deployment. And we can access the deployment at this link. Here I'll show you the link. So this is the link. So we can access the web page. So let's quickly try a new build. So we'll go to the student server pipeline and click on the build now option. I mean build now button. Here you can see the build 6 has started and it is running. So let's wait for a few seconds. So here you can watch the each stages that it is going through, like building the images, the backend, front end, Docker, backend, front end Docker images, and MySQL to Kubernetes, and backend to Kubernetes, and it finally verifies the deployment and health checks. Here you can see the stages that are going on. So the pipeline is now executing. It will build the images and deploy to Kubernetes. So let's wait for a few seconds to make it happen. Or else we'll do one thing. We'll move on to the application while it completes. So this is the front end of the application. This is the interface of the application. It has two options: view all service and new service. So here no service are found because we haven't created any survey yet. So let's go ahead and create a survey, new survey. So let's quickly fill out these names. Because I have already filled the survey and checked the CRUD operation. So that's why the cookie is showing the information. Facts. Here I can type the zip code 22031. 48, and then the email, I'll provide a random email. And date of the survey is today's date, and then select some options. How do you become an interest television? Likely. And then we'll click on the submit. So here you can see, and here you can see a dialog box stating that survey submitted successfully. You click on OK. And here in the view survey section, we can see the survey that we have recently filled out. So let's try to view the survey. So here you can view the survey and click on close. And we can also edit the survey. Like we can modify the name and this to internet and this to unlikely, and we'll update the survey, try to update it. So here you can see survey updated successfully. So let's go ahead and check whether it updated successfully or not. So here you can see the name has been changed to Surya, the first name, and let's see the full thing. So here you can see the both has came, students, and location, and here we changed it to internet, and the recommendation we changed it to unlikely. So this has updated. And now let's try to delete the survey. We'll click on the delete button. So it asks for the confirmation. Are you sure you want to delete this survey? So we'll go ahead and click on OK. So it confirms that survey has been deleted successfully. So we can see here the survey has been deleted and no surveys are found. So this data is stored in MySQL and running on in our Kubernetes cluster and so at the local host. So to summarize what we demonstrated, we have a full stack application with a React Fast API. Here you can see we have a full stack application with React and Fast API and containerized using the Docker with 3 pods for backend, frontend, and MySQL, and deployed on Kubernetes with the 3 pods as we already seen these logs, and completed the CRUD operations working and Jenkins CI/CD pipeline automating build and deployment, and all the source files are commented properly and the application is accessible at the local host. And thank you for watching the video and giving me this opportunity to present for the assignment. Thank you.